A US-based recruiter has now revealed something deeply disturbing about modern corporate culture. Good performance may no longer protect employees from the layoffs. That's right, for decades, workers were taught a very simple formula here. Work hard, stay loyal, deliver result, and your career, it will remain secure. But according to recruiter Shreya Mehta, modern layoffs, they do not work like that anymore. Well, she warned the employees that layoffs are often planned very quietly for weeks and even months before the public announcement arrives. And by the time workers do realize what is happening, leadership has usually already finalized the decision here. The warning signs, they are very subtle, but they are chilling. While managers suddenly becoming unusually polite, unexpected skip-level meetings appearing on calendars, projects being reprioritized, hiring freezes inside specific teams, and executives quietly leaving without replacement. Well, do you remember that vogue words like streamlining or high-impact reconstructing starting to appear in the meetings? Here, employees, they often ignore all these signals because they believe that strong performance rating will save them. But Mehta, she says that the assumption, it is dangerously outdated. You know, her most brutal line, it shocked social media. Layoffs are not performance reviews. They are spreadsheet exercise. Can you think how psychologically devastating that statement really is? A worker may spend years sacrificing his personal life for the company, missing vacation, working weekends, staying online at midnight, taking stress home every single day, and then suddenly, one reconstructing decision wipes out entire teams regardless of their loyalty or their performance. And this fear, it is even more intense for Indian workers in America because for many immigrants, losing a job is not only a financial crisis anymore. It can become an immigration emergency for them. Well, the pressure, it becomes unbearable. While many Indian professionals already live under constant anxiety due to H-1B dependency, green card backlogs, and family obligations. Well, their parents, they depend on them financially. Children study in American schools. Mortgages, insurance, and visa timeline, it becomes interconnected. So when layoffs begin, workers do not simply fear unemployment. They fear losing the entire life that they spent years building abroad. And you know, that fear, it is now forcing many Indians to ask a very difficult question that would have sounded shocking 10 years ago. Is moving to America still worth it anymore? Amazon is now facing massive backlash in the United States after reports reveal that the company received certification for more than 33,000 H-1B linked positions, despite laying off nearly 30,000 workers across multiple reconstructing waves. And suddenly, one explosive debate has turned to the center of American politics. Why are corporations firing employees while still bringing in foreign workers? While the controversy exploded after viral social media posts highlighted federal labor certification data connected to Amazon's hiring pattern. In fact, one user accused the company of creating an infinite labor pool while American workers were losing their jobs. And that post alone, it received massive engagement online and triggering emotional argument across political and tech communities. But you know, this story, it is much bigger than Amazon itself, because the H-1B visa system, it has quietly become one of the most controversial issues in the American economy. US companies argue that they need skilled foreign talent to remain globally competitive. But critics argue that corporations use the system to suppress wages and create dependency among migrant workers. And Indians sit directly at the center of this battle because they dominate the H-1B workforce, right? Well, according to federal data, software developers alone accounted for over 151,000 certified H-1B linked positions, and that too in the just first half of fiscal year 2026. California alone received more than 152,000 certified positions, proving how dependent Silicon Valley remains on immigrant engineering talent. But if we see emotionally, many Americans see something very, very different here. They see tech layoffs happening everywhere while companies, they continue applying for foreign workers certification. And during economic uncertainty, that creates anger very, very quickly. But wait, for Indian professionals, this whole situation, it is deeply uncomfortable because many are now being blamed for problems that they didn't even create. Most H-1B workers, they are simply trying to build careers and support their families. But political narrative often simplify complicated economic reality into emotional slogans. And the fear inside American communities, it is growing every single day because every time layoffs increase, anti-immigrant sentiments becomes louder. Suddenly, Indians are not just workers anymore. They become symbols inside America's larger economic anxiety. And perhaps the harshest reality is this: even many H-1B workers themselves no longer feel safe in the very companies that once desperately hired them. Because, let's be honest, today's corporate America, loyalty and performance, they are no longer guaranteed of the survival.